Alright everybody, what is going on, and welcome back to our Japan GM mode. This is going to be episode number 7, and we're already halfway through year number 3. Now this could be a lengthy GM mode. We could go excess of 15 years, and I'm going to keep going until you guys don't want me to do it anymore. So far you guys are killing it. Every GM mode is getting like 10,000 plus views. It's absolutely crazy, so thank you for all the support. But we got some stuff to do in this episode. So in the last one, we got the year 3 sim started, and as you can see, we're 13, 20, and 6. If we continue at this pace, we should be in the top 5, top 10 for the draft, which will be pretty nice. You can see here is all of the stats here throughout the first, I guess kind of the first half of the year, almost throughout the first half of the year anyways. 39 games played. Max Domi leading the way with 31 points. That's awesome to see, a +4. Being a plus on this team is not an easy thing to achieve. So Max Domi, props to you for being a +4. Pavel Datsyuk, now this is a guy who we have to trade him. We're gonna trade him to a contender. I kind of have an idea of who I want to trade him to. We got Sam Gagner here doing really well. My boy Zach Sanford, 26 points in 39 games. What a beast. Leading our team in goals. This guy is just a beast. 20 penalty minutes on him. I love this kid. Will Nye, the hockey guy. A lot of people don't like that I call him that, but that's my nickname for him. I'm sticking to it. If you don't like it, get out of here. Willie Nylander, Will Nye, the hockey guy, 26 points in 40 games. McGinn's been a pretty good signing as well. Timothy Liljegren, now this guy, man, he is going to be probably like 90 overall for next year. I think we should just go ahead and name him our captain right now. 19-year-old, absolute beast, a big Swede. He's killing it for us right now. I think that when you have a player like this, a generational talent on the back end, a defenseman like this, he's a Swede. Plus, there's been so many good Swedish captains in NHL history. He's going to be the next great Swedish captain. So, Timothy Liljegren, I am going to be naming you the captain right now. You can see here everyone else. Evander Kane's kind of struggling. I have a plan for Evander Kane, though. And as for the goaltenders, we got Calvin Pickard and Al Montoya, who's just not doing well at all. So, let's go ahead and name our captain, Timothy Liljegren. Let's go ahead and do it. Now, I asked for a nickname for Timothy Liljegren, but none of them really stuck, and there's a couple of them like Timmy Turner and Lil Timmy, and I don't know, it just doesn't really feel right to me, so I'm gonna wait it out, and a nickname will eventually come. A nickname will come for this guy. We're gonna strip the captaincy of Pavel Datsyuk because we're going to trade him right now. Max Domi is gonna keep with the A, same thing with Zach Sanford, but Timothy Liljegren, assigned captaincy, the next young great Swedish defenseman in the NHL. He is, I think, the youngest captain in the NHL right now. I'm pretty sure he is, actually. There he is, number 20, the captaincy. In 20 years, you could see number 20 in the rafters of the Subaru Center here in Japan. Let's go ahead and find a trade partner for Pavel Datsyuk. Now, the reason why I want to trade Pavel Datsyuk is because, one, he's just rotting here. He's 40 years old, playing on a bottom feeder team. Yeah, the guys love him. I love having him around. He's still a great player at 40 years old, but realistically, he should go try and win another Stanley Cup. I want to send him to the best team possible. Now, a couple comments here from Trenton. He says you should trade Pavel Datsyuk, Evander Kane, and Luke Schenn together for a young defenseman to play with Liljegren. Someone like Morgan Rielly or Noah Hannafin would be good, with a couple of winky faces. And another person comments there, Noah Hannafin would be good, but no way he's getting Morgan Rielly since the trade value is going to be way too high. And I agree with you. I do like Noah Hannafin. I like that a lot. I have a player in mind, though. I will do some shopping around right now. Another comment here says package Datsyuk, Evander Kane, Luke Schenn, and a pick for Horvat and Julevi. Now, the inner Vancouver Canuck fan wants to do this. I really want to do it. But you look at the Canucks. They're a rebuilding team. Why would I send Pavel Datsyuk there? There's no point for me to send Pavel Datsyuk to a team that's going to be rebuilding. They are currently rebuilding. They have Brodin, they have this Vasilin guy, they have Nikita Tramkin, they have all these young guys who are coming up who are going to be awesome for them in 2 or 3 years. There's no reason for us to send Pavel Datsyuk there just to retire. Now, I will keep Olli Julevi in mind. I do like Olli Julevi a lot at the low elite, just because obviously I'm a Canucks fan, and having Timothy Liljegren and Olli Julevi, that would be a pretty scary 1-2 punch for the future. future. And obviously I love my man Bo Horvat, but I don't know if it's possible for us to get him. His trade value is pretty much equal to Pavel Datsyuk, so I would be getting Horvat for Datsyuk. And when I really want to get a defenseman back for Pavel Datsyuk, I don't want to get another forward. I have some ideas on who I want to get. We got one more comment here from Jackson. He says, I guess Brodin is the next Argento, however you want to pronounce that goof's name. Yes, he definitely is. Now, I don't think that I'm going to hate Brodin as much as I hated Argenbust, but he is still going to be a giant rival. But the Canucks and Japan now have a huge rivalry with the 1-2 picks in 2018. We got Brodin, and obviously we got Joe Veleno. And I asked you guys, how long should I expect Joe Veleno to be, to be NHL ready? You guys said 2 or 3 years, which is okay. I'm totally fine with waiting that. So here's my idea for Pavel Datsyuk. Now, he doesn't have that much trade value, all right? We're going to have to take back half of his cap. I have no problem doing this. I will take $2 million for Pavel Datsyuk any day of the week, all right? We take half of his cap. Now that's going to allow us to open up more trade possibilities because teams don't want to take on a lot of cap. Even though it's only for 1 year, it's going to open up quite a few more possibilities. So just for fun, let's have a look at some suggestions you guys were talking about. And one of them is Morgan Rielly. You can see there, no way in hell am I ever going to get Morgan Rielly. It's just not going to happen. 92 overall, is one of the best defensemen in the entire league. Unfortunately, just not going to happen. Now over to Carolina, I actually want to say something about this. Now you can see Teravainen 96 overall. What the hell? And that's actually from my other series, and I totally forgot to reset him. That's from my Hut to GM series. There's a few other players that are like high franchise, and yeah, it's a little bit weird, but it's not the worst thing in the world. If anything, goal scoring is going to be up, and Carolina has an awful team, so having 96 overall Teravainen is awesome for them, awesome for the league. It's going to suck if we have to play them in the Stanley Cup final 1 year, but it's still cool. I mean, there's just going to be more scoring out there, and there's only 2 or 3 players. I believe it's Taylor Radish and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from Hut to GM. So I'm sorry about that, but a lot of you guys were noticing that, and I guess I should explain what's up. So now, Noah Hannafin. He's medium elite, 84 overall, 21 years old. I would love to get this kid, but do we have enough to trade for him? I don't think so. That will not go through. I don't really want to trade anything else. I could throw Evander Kane in there, but really I want to give Kane more of a shot. We don't have any prospects. We have nothing that's really worth anything, and I don't want to trade any sort of my draft picks. Our picks are hella valuable right now. I don't want to risk us giving up a pick. That will be a high overall pick for Carolina. Now, with that being said, I want to go over here to a team that could challenge for a Stanley Cup, and that is the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can see there they're having a great year. Having Pavel Datsyuk down the middle is really going to help them out. You can see here how are they doing in the center position. They have Dubinsky and Weinberg, so it's not bad, but they could really use a Pavel Datsyuk there on the second line. So then they could have Dubinsky, Weinberg, and then Pierre-Luc Dubois or William Karlsson on their fourth line. Now, that works out perfectly. We eat up $2 million. They get a centerman that they need, like a rent-a-player to go towards the playoffs, because they are a good team. You look at their wingers here. They got Boone Jenner, Brandon Saad, Sonny Milano. They got Nick Foligno, Oliver Bjorkstrand. They have the pieces in place, and obviously in the cage they have Korpisalo and Bobrovsky. So they are a team that is ready to go into a long, deep playoff run. Now, for the defensemen, they have Ryan Murray, Savard, Johnson, Seth Jones. There's their top 4 right there. They have Jacob Chychrun, Dylan Hetherington, Zach Werenski, and they also have another guy down here, Scott Harrington, who are all above 80 overall, who can all play in the NHL. That is 1 player in Harrington, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 2 defensemen too much. So their defense is stacked. There's no way that they need one of these young guys. They have all these young players, 20, 24, 31, 28, 25. They're not going to be needing a guy like Zach Werenski, who I'm going to have a look at here, who has the low elite. We're taking a bit of a risk here, but with the low trade value, it's kind of all we can get, which is fine. Zach Werenski is a 21-year-old low elite. Now, if he was like 75 overall low elite, I'd probably pass on him, but he's 83 low elite, only at 21. This guy will get better. He could be like a Jake Bean type player who had the low elite, who got to be just ridiculous for us. But you can see here his stats are all there. They need a little bit of seasoning. He was a top 10 pick in 2015. He's not having an awful year. I mean, he's a plus 10, 3 assists, no goals yet, and he hasn't really had a chance to be a number one guy yet. And he's 21 years old, so he's gonna be blooming pretty quickly. So I would want this to happen. We got Zach Werenski straight up for Pavel Datsyuk. Werenski is going to be coming into a rebuilding team where Datsyuk is going to get one last chance to win the Stanley Cup. Now, the trade values is exactly even. I don't think I can add anything. I can try for a pick. I mean, it's really not going to work. There's no reason for me to go get a pick. I don't really want to add anything else. This is a very even trade. Both teams get what they want. They want Datsyuk. They don't have room for Zach Werenski. We have room for Zach Werenski and Pavel Datsyuk. Good luck in Columbus. Hopefully you can bring a Stanley Cup to that franchise. Will this trade go through? Trade accepted. There you go. We consider it a done deal. I think that was a good hockey trade. Both teams got what they wanted. We got a young defenseman in Zach Werenski to come along to a young team here with players like Nylander and Max Domi and Zach Sanford and Timothy Liljegren. We have the pieces in place. We're building for the future here, and Zach Werenski is going to be a big part of that. Another big reason why I went ahead and I got Zach Werenski is because I don't want Luke Schenn playing with Timothy Liljegren. I just don't want that to happen. Luke Schenn is very defensive, and I think it's kind of bringing him down. So we're going to go ahead and throw him there. We have a lot of defensive defensemen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive defensemen and 2 two-way defensemen. So maybe in the draft or at the deadline or maybe in free agency, I can look for one more offensive defenseman like a Jake Gardner or something like that, or someone who can put up a decent amount of points. But that's for the future. We're already like 15 minutes in here, but I've made my choice. Zach Werenski is going to be a big piece of this team going towards the future here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do that. Max Domi. I want to play Sanford. Okay, we're going to play Sanford on the second line, and we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to try Domi, Nylander, Kane, McGinn, Gagne, and Sanford, but I will give Sanford first line power play time. How about that? Okay, so I think we're ready to go here. Luke Schenn, you could go down there. Werenski, there you go, Zach Werenski. Welcome to Japan, buddy. I'm very, very glad you're here. So I'm probably going to get the rest of the year done and the draft done in this video. We haven't got any simulation done yet, but we named our captain. We got rid of Datsyuk. I wish him the best there in Columbus. If we have any slow sim games coming up against Columbus, I will go ahead and I will slow sim them, say what's up to Columbus, and I don't see one yet. Maybe I missed it, but I don't see a Columbus game. Maybe not for the rest of the year. That's totally fine, I guess. Let's go ahead and slow sim the game against Edmonton. Let's get everything done in this video. Let's go all the way to the draft. Let's get the draft done too. I'm ready to record. Let's go. You guys like the long episodes, and I'm down for that. So grab some snacks, do whatever you gotta do, and get ready for a long episode. First period against Edmonton Oilers, 0-0. Period number 2. Okay, going into the third here, 0-0 game, and Connor McDavid. That was a very even game, though. The shots were 25 apiece. Alright, there you go. So let's just get a bunch of simulation done here. Let's go up to the 24th where we're going to play against the Oilers, and we'll try to get some revenge there on what happened on Wednesday the 2nd. But I'm down to lose a bunch of games. Let's do it. I really don't care what this year is, if we are... if we're the worst team in the league or if we're just outside of the worst. 8-5 win. Damn, putting up some numbers there. What's up? Zach Werenski stoked on playing. Must have had a big game there against the Jets. But if we're like the worst team in the league again, it doesn't matter. Next year is going to be the year number 4. This is an improving year. This is definitely an improvement on our previous years. So next year, I want to be just either outside of the playoffs or in the playoffs. Year number 4, 2024 is going to be our year. We're going to have Werenski is going to be a year older. We are going to have Zach Sanford going to be a year older. I think that Zach Sanford is only going to top out at like a second or like a really good third liner, which is fine. He's an 85 overall power forward. Those types of players don't usually get really good. But we're up here against the Edmonton Oilers. We pretty much have like the same record as them. So let's go here. Let's get some revenge or get another loss. Won't be the end of the world. First period. Okay, 3-1. Nuge, Eberle, Larson, and Lucas Lesio gets our only goal. 3 goals on 12 shots. Picard, it's not good, buddy. Period number 2. All right, 5-2. Max Domi, Nuge, and Gallardi, and that is going to be all she wrote. Ouch, that was a rough loss. Edmonton has our number right now. Now I have some thoughts here about the draft. I want to see what goalies are out there. We have kind of our forward core set. Our defense is slowly coming together, but our goaltending is a giant question mark. We cannot roll with Picard forever. This guy's 83 overall, probably not going to be anything good for us, but he's just a goalie for right now. So actually talking about goalies, where can I look? 5 goalies, 9 goalies. Let's go ahead and scout in the O for goalies. Let's go 1 month there for tendies in the O. But I really want to get a goaltender. Now, if I get the first overall pick and there's a stud top 5 goalie, I may trade down to the 3rd or the 4th spot, maybe to get another asset and still get the guy that I want. I want to get a goalie. There's no reason for us to pick a project defenseman or a project forward. Obviously, if there's like an 80 overall stud out there, I will go ahead and pick him, but I really want to focus on getting a goalie, whether that's in the first round or whether that's in the second round. I want to get a goalie this year, and I want him to be a big piece of our team. Like I said, our defense is slowly coming together. I think that our defense is a very strong point here. Our offense is slowly coming together, still needs some work, but I have some ideas on what we can do for our offense come the draft and come free agency time. Now, Evander Kane is a big question mark. A lot of you guys are saying, trade him, he sucks, and I kind of agree. He's not doing that great, and that's happened before. That's happened where, you know, a player gets to a new team and it just doesn't really work, and maybe that's the case here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to throw him on the block. I actually should have done this a little while ago, but Evander Kane, let's have a look at this guy. He's 12 goals, 18 assists, minus 16. Now, yes, it's not great. 30 points in 60 games for $6.7 million. That's not ideal, but you know what? It is what it is right now. We have him to score goals. We signed him to be a better team, and I think Evander Kane does make us a better team. Yes, it's a lot of money. I had to spend some money as it was, which is fine. 6.7 is a little bit hefty, but it's not ridiculous. So you can see here we are last in our division, 52 points. We are 12 points back of the San Jose Sharks. Max Domi leading our team in points with 43. That's awesome. But right behind him, Zach Sanford, my dude. This guy's got 42 points. That is amazing. 18 goals, 24 helpers for a +4. That's awesome. Oh my god, 89 overall for Timothy Liljegren. Holy shit. 8 goals, 30 assists. This guy could be in the running for the Norris Trophy. Holy crap. Look at his skating category. Look at his shot. This guy is the ultimate defenseman. 97 offensive awareness. Holy crap. Alright, that's awesome. Seriously, that's just fantastic. Jamie McGinn right behind him with 38 points. That's nice to see. Will Nye, the hockey guy, 38 points. That's okay, I guess. Sam Gagner right behind him. Now, where is Werenski? So, Zach Werenski, he is having not the greatest of years, but he is a +1 coming to a struggling team. I know it's not going to be ideal, but I am hoping that he grows. Giving him top line minutes, I think, is going to help. He's got 1 goal and 7 helpers. What else we got here? Brandon Tanev, he's got 5 points in 24 games. That's awesome. And Andre Padan there is the guy we actually had to scratch because we ended up getting Zach Werenski. Now, going towards the goaltenders, have a look here. Has Al Montoya played better? No, not really. 2-9. Picard hasn't played awful. I mean, 20 and 24. 1 shutout there with a save percentage of .909 and a goals against of .280. I mean, he could be doing a lot worse. He's actually playing pretty good, given the team and giving what he has. I think he's doing pretty well. We're gonna go ahead ahead and get over the trade deadline. If no one sends us an offer for Evander Kane, whatever, we have lots of options there in the draft and during the free agency period. I do want to see what trades were made, though, if any. Sometimes the NHL doesn't really do a whole lot for the trade deadline in these simulations. Have a look here, player pick and trading. Okay, quite a bit actually happened. So New York acquired, you can see here, they got a goaltender and Adam Marsh for Anders Lee. New Jersey actually got Alex Edler for a first and a couple of prospects. So that's what I'm saying. Vancouver is in a rebuild. They traded one of their best defensemen for picks and prospects. That's the definition of a rebuild there in Vancouver. New York Rangers acquired a first and a prospect for Zuccarello. So some big names being thrown out there. Anders Lee, Zuccarello, Alex Edler. All right, let's get the year done here. Our defensive rating has went up to 90 there, I just quickly saw. That's awesome. I'm going to go all the way up. Actually, no, I want to slow sim the game against Vancouver. No. Okay, well, we lost. It's all good. We have one game here on the 29th, but I want to slow sim as many games as I can against the Canucks because obviously with the rivalry going on, although Veleno isn't quite ready yet, I do want to see how this Brodin kid does play. If he's as good as all the hype. There's a lot of hype around this. There's a lot of hype around this kid. 80 overall out of the draft. He's already 84 overall, so he is he's going to be a stud there for Vancouver. I'm glad the Canucks got him. It's going to be fun to have a rivalry with the Canucks. 2-1 win there against Carolina. 3-2 win against the Wings. We're currently on a 3-game winning streak, and it gets destroyed there by the Nashville Predators, losing 2-0. There's a lot of games in March. Holy crap! We are pretty much playing like every other day here. Keep the losses coming though. 25, 38, and 9. Yeah, we're gonna be a bad team, and that is exactly where we should be right now. We're better than we were in the past. I do want to compare our last year's record to this year, just to see if we have improved at all. I'm pretty sure we have a better record. I don't think we even came close to 30 wins last year. I'll have to go back and check, but I don't think we did. Anyways, let's go up here against the Vancouver Canucks. Let's go. This is going to be the first game I've slow simmed against the Canucks. Hopefully Brodin doesn't absolutely slaughter us here. First period. There you go. Max Domi on Markstrom. Period number 2. Okay, Jake Virtanen. Third period. We come through with a big victory. 4-1. Colton Gillies, Max Domi gets his second, and Zach Werenski gets the empty netter. Attaboy, Werenski, attaboy. 21 years old, low elite. The guy is going to be a beast for us. I hope he is anyways. I know the low elite is a little bit sketchy. Sometimes they get really good like Jake Bean, and sometimes they stay at 83, 84, 85 overall. So, I mean, we traded Pavel Datsyuk. He's going to retire next year anyways, so it's not like we really lost out on a ton with Pavel Datsyuk. We actually beat the Ducks on back-to-back nights. We got 30 wins, 30 victories. The first time that's happened in our franchise. I'm pretty sure anyways. Let me go ahead and have a quick look. Yeah, so last year we had 54 points. We had 22 wins, 50 losses, and 10 overtime losses. So it's definitely an improvement, and we go out with a bang, winning 4-2 there. So we ended up getting 54 points last year, and we had 70 this year. So definitely a huge improvement. Every year we're getting better, and that is absolutely awesome. So how did we do? Were we the worst team in the league? I don't think we were the absolute worst, but we're probably in the bottom 5. Best team this year was the Winnipeg Jets. That's awesome. Let's see Columbus. There you go. 48-25. So hopefully they can go all the way and get Pavel Datsyuk that Stanley Cup. Where were we? So we finished second last. Wow, Pittsburgh last place. Oh man. So it's going to be a toss-up there for the draft lottery. If we get first, great. If we get fifth, great. I just want to get a goalie. That's all I want right now. Here were the points. So 4 players finished with 50 points and tied for second on the team. Timothy Liljegren finished with 10 goals, 40 assists. Exact same thing with Jamie McGinn, 10 goals, 40 helpers. That's awesome. 50 points for Jamie McGinn. Is that a career high? That might be a career high for this guy. 39, 38. Yeah, that is definitely a career high. Career low in goals, but wow, 50 points. That's awesome. 40 helpers. That's great to see. Zach Sanford had a great year. 23 goals, 27 helpers. That is awesome. That's a great sophomore year for the kid. Attaboy Sanford. What a guy. William Nylander there, 47 points. Sam Gagner, 45. Kane, only 42. Yeah, he's got to go, man. He's got to go. This guy could be a big trade asset for us anyways. I mean, Rodin was playing on the third line and got just about as many points as you know, like 9 less points. That's garbage. Brian Boyle there, 80 overall at 27 points. Exact same thing there with Nick Delorier and Lucas Lesio. Zach Werenski maintained a positive rating there at +5. 2 goals, 8 assists for 10 points in 79 games. Having a look at goaltenders here. Did Calvin Pickard play pretty good? Yeah, you know what? He played not bad. But Al Montoya did pick up his game for sure at 8 and 12. Calvin Pickard finished with a .912 save percentage and a 2.75 goals against average. For some reason, Montoya had 2 shutouts in his 8 wins. Let's have a look at the entire league stats. Again, this one's going to be a longer episode, so be prepared for that. Brodin, 86 overall, 49 points. You had 1 less point than Timothy Liljegren. You suck, Brodin. You suck. Looks like Brodin is doing great there. Looks like that first line in Vancouver is awesome. Looks like this is probably their first line with Brodin, Horvat, and Louis Eriksson, and then Virtanen, Granlund, and Berchi. Pretty nice there in Vancouver. It is coming together. Let's look at the entire league stats. So Teravainen, the beast, the high franchise 97 overall playmaker, had 47 goals, 52 assists for 99 points. That just goes to show how weird the simulation is. Not even a 97 overall player can hit 100 points. Stammer right behind him with Kucherov, Ovi, Backstrom, Kane, Skinner, Voracek, Giroux. That's just all the main guys. Have a look at rookie goaltenders. Who's up there in the rookie tendies? Wins, it was like Anthony Stolarz, Malcolm Subban went 12 and 4. Just a few other guys here. Julio Billa, no way this guy's playing with the Anaheim Ducks. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Julio Billa, you beast. Attaboy, that's great to see. Rookie skaters, yeah, you're going to see Taylor Radish there, the high franchise. He was from the Hut to GM. Nolan Patrick there right behind him. Alex Nylander, 61 points. Joshua Ho-Sang. Bunch of pretty nice prospects here. Willie Nylander, there he is. Brodin. Yeah, a lot of rookies this year. Holy crap, a lot of quality rookies. That's pretty good to see. Now, as for the goaltenders for the entire NHL, Ben Bishop, 43 and 14 for Ben Bishop. Holy crap. 41 for Freddie Anderson. That's nice to see. Glad he's doing well there in Toronto. John Gibson, Devin Dubnyk, Pekka Rinne. There is all those players. I do want to see the defenseman. Now, is Liljegren going to be up there in the Norris conversation? He had 50 points. He was right behind Drew Doughty and TJ Brody. I mean, you could throw him in that conversation, but I think it's going to be a few more years before he's up there with the Morgan Rileys and the Aaron Ekblads. That is very, very nice to see. He is in the, top 10 or top 15 for scoring. One of the best defensemen in the league already, and he's only 19 years old. That's just terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Have a look here at Morgan Rielly. 27 goals, 38 helpers. What an offensive defenseman. Oh, man. That's crazy. That's awesome. Okay, now let's go ahead and start the draft. Let's get rid of the rest of the regular season. Looks like our AHL team didn't quite make it in, which is fine, I guess. They're not doing well. 23, 32, and 9, which is weird because I thought I stacked them, but maybe not. One last thing before we go ahead and head into the draft. I do want to see how Pavel Datsyuk did with his new team. So I don't remember how many points he had before he left. It might have been like 27 or 29 points. I don't know how many points he actually had, but he ended with 58, so that's awesome to see. He is down to 84 overall, so hopefully he can bring a Stanley Cup to Columbus. Good luck. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for Columbus. I'm on the Columbus bandwagon. I'll see you guys at the draft. The Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup, their second cup in franchise history. Teravainen, 97 overall, led them to the Stanley Cup. Wow. All right, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting Carolina to win the cup, but congrats to the Hurricanes. I wonder what happened to Columbus there. I know Washington had a pretty good year as well. They were actually facing each other in the first round, and we dropped to 4th in the draft lottery. Pittsburgh was the last team and they drop to 5th. Oh, wow, the draft lottery. They screw over Pittsburgh, but that's okay. That's okay. We have the 4th overall pick. I want to see what goalies are out there. Maybe we'll trade up. Maybe we'll trade down. I'm not sure yet, but it's the Islanders, the Canucks again. Wow, they're going to have a stacked team. Okay, so we're going to start the draft in a few seconds here. We are going to see the retired players. Tim Brent, congratulations on a great career. Ends it out on 69 overall, 10 million bucks richer in the bank. No worries, buddy. You can thank me later. His last name is my first name, so it only made sense. Pavel Datsyuk has now retired. There you go. 1,118 points. Patrick Marleau, Marian Gaborik, Tanguay, Alexander Semin calls it quits. Mike Fisher, a bunch of these guys here. Joel Ward, Thomas Fleischman. Yeah, you see all these guys regularly retiring in year number 2 or year number 3. I'm pretty surprised that Datsyuk even made it to 40 years old. Cam Ward goes out on top, 35 years old, ends up 350 and 320, not bad. His second Stanley Cup ring goes out on top. That's nice to see there. Congratulations to Cam Ward, one of my favorite goalies as a kid. I actually met him when I was a kid when he was playing for the Red Deer Rebels. I lived around that area and I went to quite a few Rebels games and he was always really, really nice. Him and Dion Phaneuf were a bunch of nice guys. Let's go ahead. Edit trading block. I think Evander Kane still the only one on there. Yeah, that's great. I wonder what happened to Columbus though. I want to see here. Carolina, your 2019 Stanley Cup champions. So let's have a look at the playoff tree here. What happened to? They get bounced in the first round. Oh no, they got bounced by the eventual Stanley Cup champions. They got owned 4-1. That sucks. Well, that sucks, guys. I'm sorry that Datsyuk didn't get to win his cup. I thought I was giving him to the right team. They kind of took a gamble there on taking Pavel Datsyuk, and I guess they lost. They made it to the second round, but no one remembers a team that made it to the second round. The only one that remembers is the Stanley Cup final, and it looks like it was a Game 7 Stanley Cup final. Hope that was like a triple overtime thing. That's awesome. All right, well, let's head into the draft here. Before we start the draft, let's have a look at the awards. Looks like the Stanley Cup obviously went to Carolina. So in the years that we've been simming, it's went to Calgary, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. Presidents went to the Jets, and you can see there. Player awards. Art Ross went to Teravainen. In the years we've been simming, it's been Kane, Stammer, Teravainen. Exact same thing with the Hart. It's been Kane, Stammer, Teravainen. The James Norris goes to Ryan Suter. I believe that's the first of his career. I could be wrong though. Lady Bing went to Teravainen. The Calder went to Taylor Radish. Conn Smythe went to Cam Ward. Is that it? Did he win the Conn Smythe Trophy the first time around? Pretty sure he did. His second Conn Smythe, his second Stanley Cup, goes out on top with a big retirement. The Vezina went to Freddie Anderson. William M. Jennings went to Bobrovsky. Bill Masterton went to Forbort. We got the Patrice Bergeron Award going to Patrice Bergeron. Ted Lindsay went to Teravainen, and the Rocket went to Teravainen. So he took home some awards. Holy crap. Okay, so going into this draft, I've scouted a fair bit of goalies, and that's kind of what I want. I want to get a goaltender. Now, I want to see what players are available. So we have the 4th overall pick here. It's going to go the Islanders, the Canucks, the Rangers, and then us. So I really hope there is a top 5 goaltender out there, because that's really who I want. Right away, you're going to see, okay, so a few top 5s here. We got Oland, Sturm, Gawk, and Hemsky, who is a offensive defenseman. So all these guys are going to be great NHLers, but we need a goalie. I'm hoping there's a top, okay, there's actually a top 10. Okay, so do we risk trading down to get this guy? Do we risk trading to like the 6th or the 7th spot? Maybe staying in the top 5 is gonna, you know what? I will trade to Pittsburgh or Colorado. Now, since there is 5 players that are scouted to go in the top 5, I'm pretty sure that it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I trade for the 5th overall pick, how much more can I really get if I was to trade our pick for the 4th? I don't think it's going to be a whole lot, really. Let's have a look here. Yeah, like, how different is the trade value? Really not that much. I'm going to end up getting, like, maybe it's not even a second, maybe just like a third. Yeah, it's really not worth it for me to trade down one selection, but he is listed as a top 10. That's what I'm kind of scared about. I could trade to like the 7th pick and maybe get something. How different is the 7th from the 4th? I just really want to make sure we get that goaltender. I could do it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see here. Let's see if I can use some GM skills. Yeah, it's pretty much even. I think all the picks in the top 5 are relatively even, so I'm just going to go ahead. What's that goaltender's name? I'm going to have to go ahead and select that goalie, because all these guys are probably great, but I really need a goalie, and a top 10 goaltender sounds great. It's the only one in the draft, so I really, really want him. And of course, it's a guy's name that I have no idea how to pronounce. Okay, let's try this here. Is it Tursumbiev? Tursumbiev? I don't know how to pronounce that. We gotta come up with a nickname for this guy right away, because there's no way I'm pronouncing Tursumbiev. Oh my god. Oleg Tursumbiev. That is ridiculous. Okay, well, we are going to probably draft him. I'm going to hope that no one takes him in the top 4, which I'm pretty sure that they won't do. Let's go ahead and sim this pick. Matthias Oland. No, maybe it's not Matthias, but he goes number 1 to the Islanders, a high top 4. Sturm goes to the Canucks, another medium elite winger. That's kind of scary. Top 6, Burkhol goes to the New York Rangers. Now we got to select our goaltender, 4th overall. There's still 2 top 5s out there, Hemsky and Gawk, but you know what? I'm not going to risk it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pick our goalie, Tursumbiev. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Welcome to Japan, our first goaltending selection, medium elite. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That is fantastic. Now let's see who we actually missed out on. I think it's that Hemsky guy and Gawk. So a high top 9 and a medium elite offensive defenseman. So yeah, Hemsky would have been nice, but we needed a goaltender, and Tursumbiev, welcome to Japan. I'm stoked on that. There you go. Sim to the next user pick. We got a goalie. We have our forwards. We have our defensemen. Now we got a goaltender, Tursumbiev. Hopefully he turns out to be just as awesome as his name is. Now we can go ahead and probably pick a forward here for a bunch of defensemen, actually. Who's S. Bork? We got Stefan Bork, who's an offensive defenseman, medium AHL top 4. He's only 19 years old. Okay, there's a couple of second rounders that we could probably go after. You know, let's go after another defenseman here. Let's go with, who's this McKinley guy, 2-way defenseman? I said I want to get an offensive defenseman, and I guess Stefan Bork kind of fits the bill. There you go. Welcome to Team Japan. Oh, wow, medium top 4. That's awesome. Okay, that's great. This is exactly how I wanted this draft to go. Sim to user pick. Now let's go ahead and pick some forwards. I'd be down to select a couple of wingers here, maybe another centerman, but let's go ahead and make the selection. 3rd round, 1st overall. We got Sundin. All right, let's see here. The second coming of Mats, Michael Sundin. Maybe it's his kid. I don't know. 6'3", 201, similar to his dad's size. Center playmaker. You know what? Let's do that. Let's start a story here. This is going to be Matt Sundin's kid, Michael Sundin. Welcome to Team Japan. How's he looking? A medium top 9. I'll take that. That's fantastic. That's awesome, though. We got Matt Sundin's kid. Now we have the 4th pick, 24th overall. This will be my last selection, and then let the computer do the rest. Ramo, Bonk. Let's pick a winger here. Let's pick a nice American here. We got Rod Harris, a right-wing sniper, a good American boy with a name like Rod Harris. There you go. Welcome to Team Japan. What's he looking like here? A medium bottom 6, so it's better than all these guys. That's awesome. Okay, well, I think this was a success of a draft. Let's sim the entire draft, and I'll see you guys at the re-sign stage. So our top 4 picks were awesome from what I saw. We got Rod Harris, Michael Sundin, the son of Mats. We got Samuel Bork, and our future number 1 goaltender in Tursumbiev. I don't know what nickname we're going to have to come up with that guy, but it's going to have to be something awesome. That was a success of a draft. That was awesome. I'm very, very happy with how that turned out. Now, we're going to have to sign some some players here. We're going to have to do the re-sign stage, and then I'll show you guys what the free agency is looking like, and then that's probably going to be the end of this video. I'm going to leave it off on free agency, but let's have a look here at all of our selections in the draft. Sundin is a 65 overall, medium top 9. That's great. Michael Sundin, that's awesome. 18 years old. He's 65 overall, so pretty decent. Bork, a top 4 defenseman, medium top 4 offensive, 66 overall. That's great. Irving is a 71. We got him in the 5th round. What? 71 overall, top 6, low top 6. Anyways, anyone else here? Wow, that's not bad at all. Rod Harris, a 71 overall, bottom 6. That's nice. And now for the big question, the goalie. What's he looking like? 70 overall, medium elite, 20 years old. Tersambiev. Yes, this guy is exactly what we need. He fits the bill. That is awesome. So what I want to do here is I want to go around and see who else had some nice picks. Who had the first overall pick? It was the Islanders, if I remember correctly. And then it was Vancouver, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure the Islanders had the first overall pick. Who did they pick? They picked a defenseman. I remember it was a high top 6, I think. Yeah, this is this Oland guy. Matthias Oland? Marcus Oland. A high top 4, a 19-year-old. That's pretty nice, 67 overall. And then it was Vancouver who had the 2nd overall pick, I believe, and they picked up, who was it? Was it a defenseman or was it a forward? I think it was a medium elite forward. Sturm, yeah, 66 overall. That's not bad. And the only other team I remember was the Rangers. I think it was the top 3, and then it was us. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was a left winger. Burkle, it was this guy. Yeah, a high top 6. So pretty nice. That's a very successful draft. I'm stoked on this draft, honestly. I'm super, super happy. I'm going to go ahead and re-sign some people here, and then I will see you guys at the free agency period. Alright, so everybody is re-signed. I think I got everyone for a pretty fair deal. 2 players who I gave pretty much an identical contract to was Max Domi and Zach Sanford. It was 4.7 for 4 years. Those 2 players are going to be a big part of our team, so I decided to re-sign them for pretty much the exact same deal. Zach Werenski was cheap as well, 83 overall, low elite. We got that rookie there, Stefan Bork. Maybe the son of Ray Bork. We got the son of Ray Bork, and we got the son of Matt Sundin. Just some new NHL blood coming in here. Rod Harris, all those rookie guys I decided to give a contract to. Brian Boyle, just for the 4th line. Willie Nylander said yes. Zach Sanford said yes. Luke Shen said yes. Irving, Connor Murphy, all these guys. I re-signed pretty much everyone. Jamie McGinn said no. After a 50-point year, he doesn't want to come back. Okay, that's fine. And a bunch of rookies there. I have too many players. That's all good. Owen Tippett, yeah, it's fine. None of those guys are UFAs anyways, so it's all good. Wow, Jamie McGinn. I offered him like $3 million. Really? Really? Wow. Well, I mean, 50 points, and he thinks he can get more on a winning team. We will be a winning team. Next year, Next year, I'm hoping that we're going to be a winning team. Stick around for 1 more year. I promise you, it'll be just fine. But Jamie McGinn, come on, buddy. I'll give you 3.5, 3.6 for 1 year. That's a decent contract, all right? 3.65 because I'm such a nice guy. I feel like that was a pretty reasonable offer. 50 points and you're making 3.6 million bucks. There you go. He's happy now. That's fantastic. There you go. Attaboy. That's good to see. So Jamie McGinn is back. Everybody is back. We are all good to go. Simming into free agency. Now, Evander Kane. Is he staying? Is he going? What do we trade him for and why? All these RFA guys. Yeah, it's all good. Welcome back. Welcome back. What do we trade him for? Or do we keep him? And if we do trade him, who do we trade him for? So here's a look at the free agents. Right away, I'm looking to get another top 4 defenseman. Ooh, Blake Wheeler. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so right away, I'm seeing some people. I'm seeing some big guns. I do want to search for UFA only, and because of that, I want to talk about something. All these people were like, man, you could have got Sam Reinhart. Why didn't you sign him? You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. That's because if a player is a restricted free agent and I was to go offer him a contract, that is a qualifying offer. The team has a certain amount of days to either accept or reject it, and if they accept it, I have to give up my draft picks in order order to retain that player. So for Sam Reinhart, I could have offered him like $6.5 million, whatever he was wanting, but that would have absolutely screwed me for picks. Would have been like a first, 2 seconds, and a third giving to Buffalo for me to take Sam Reinhart. Yes, Reinhart's sick, but no, I'm not giving up that much. I've already made that mistake with Jonathan Drouin in New Jersey. That's not happening. So here is the players available, and I said I wanted a Jake Gardiner, and look who is in free agency. Jake Gardiner himself. Okay, all right. He had 23 points last year, kind of in the shadow of Morgan Rielly. He's averaging about 20 to 30 points a year. I think if he gets top 4 minutes on our team, that could be a nice acquisition. $5 million. Nathan Beaulieu as well. He's up there, 86 overall. Braden Coburn, a little bit too old. Artemi Panarin, that's a guy who we could get. He could easily replace Evander Kane. Blake Wheeler, though, that's a guy who I really like. Blake Wheeler, 89 overall, 68 points last year. Oh boy, that could be a big piece for us there. We could have a line of Max Domi, William Nylander, and Blake Wheeler, or Zach Sanford, Nylander, and Wheeler. That would be a nice line. Blake Wheeler, do you want to come to Japan? 5 years at 6.8, 32 years old. That's a bit sketchy, but that could be pretty nice. Eric Stahl, look at this, JVR. A lot of people were upset that I didn't sign JVR. 30 years old, 83 overall. So that pretty much tells me I made the right choice in getting Evander Kane, although he hasn't been great for us. But Thomas Yurko is another guy that's available. How was his year last year? 23 goals, 54 points. So I mean, there is a lot of options here. How about for goaltenders? Is there any tendies available that we can have a quick look at? Is it worth it for us to stick out one more year? Ooh, boy, we got some goaltenders. Is it worth us to stick out one more year with Calvin Pickard, or is it worth it for us to go and get a Robin Lehner type situation for 2 years, and by the time that Robin Lehner is about to be gone, you're ready to see Tersambiev, or whatever his name is, be ready to take the reins for this team. So, I mean, there is some options here. We also have a trading option with Evander Kane. If we trade Kane for a goaltender, and then we can sign either Panarin or Wheeler, or even Jeff Skinner, because he's younger. Skinner, Wheeler, or Panarin. I do like Jake Gardiner as well. We have $26 million plus when I trade Evander Kane. If I trade Evander Kane, that is going to free up some more money as well for us to throw at some players. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to think about here. You guys can let me know in the comments for next time. This one was a long one. Where is Evander Kane? So there he is, 86 overall, 27 years old. If we're going to trade him, we got to trade him now. Maybe it's one of those things where it just didn't work out, and we tried it, that's fine, didn't work out. Evander Kane, a lot of teams are going to want a top 4 skater. Like you can see here, there's a lot of green. A lot of teams want him. It's just the thing about his contract. That's one thing that's a little bit concerning, is just his contract. But if we could trade him for a decent goaltender, maybe someone who is like younger, who is like 83, 84 overall, that wouldn't be the worst thing. I want to trade him to a team that has some cap. Parsons, oh, they have no goalies. Oh my god, that sucks for San Jose. Vancouver, they have any young goalies? Mackenzie Blackwood, Markstrom, no, they're pretty much in the exact same spot as us, having that 183 overall goalie. It's just the contract's going to be a bit much to trade. If we can find someone who has a decent goaltender, like Julio Billa, we could get Julio Billa back, a 75 overall. What a beast. He's the backup there for Anaheim. But until then, I'm going to leave it at that. You guys know my questions. You guys know what my concerns are. What do we do with Kane? Who do we sign in free agency, if anybody? Or do we just ride off into year number 4 and hope our players grow? And thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.